Tennessee Titans fans, it is August 18th, 2025, and you may think, oh, this is just going to be a boring day of Titans practice, no joint practice or anything. You would be wrong. It got a little feisty today. There was a fight. There was a fight that broke out at Tennessee Titans practice today between the Titans. There was no other team involved. This was no joint practice. This was all Titans, baby. Look at this post from Easton Freeze that'll tell you everything that happened. Easton said the most notable thing from Titans practice today, Cam Ward and Jeff Simmons getting physical. Red zone drill, Ward hit Ridley for a really nice corner touchdown. Offense was hype. Ward went up and gave Simmons a shove in the back, then hit him with his trademark celebration. Simmons gave Ward a hard shove back. Whole offense, of course, took issue with that, resulted in a quick scrum. Simmons left the drill. The other details that I'm seeing from other people that were there were that Jeff Simmons actually had to be escorted off the practice field. I don't know if that was just a overdramatic precaution or what, but Simmons lost his helmet. He was saying some things and he was taken away by some of the coaches or whatever inside. Let me first of all say this. I think this is a big story only because it's a slow news day on a Monday. I think this is not a big deal. Cam Ward and Jeff Simmons have had that kind of relationship from the start, kind of that big brother, little brother type thing since the beginning. I mean, Jeff Simmons' first day at practice with Cam Ward, he was running his mouth and Cam was giving it right back to him. And Jeff Simmons talked about that when he went on, I think, Good Morning Football, that, he tried to run his mouth to Cam Ward and get in his head, and Cam gave it right back to him. That's just kind of what they've always had. And we've seen pictures of them fishing together. We've seen pictures of them, getting on the plane together and sitting next to each other. So I just don't think that there's any reason to believe that there's actual real animosity between these two guys. I think it's a big brother, little brother type thing. So let me just first of all say that. I don't think it's a big deal at all. I don't think there's anything to read into here. I think this was a couple of guys in 100-degree weather, putting the work in, getting the reps, working hard, getting frustrated, doing a little pushing and shoving, running their mouth, because that's just the type of guys that Cam Ward and Jeff Simmons are. They run their mouth. They let it be known how they feel about everything. What I will say in regards, Cam Ward initiated this, okay? Here's one thing you can take away. This rookie, Cam Ward, is insane. This dude is insane. Because he initiated this. He threw the touchdown, and then he walked over to Jeffery Simmons, pushed him, and then hit him with the celly afterwards. Now, we've known Jeffery Simmons for years. He's been with the Titans for what? God, like 6 years now. Jeffery Simmons has got a temper. All right, we've seen it in games. We've seen it in practices. Jeffery Simmons can get hot-headed pretty quick on the field. Even with Buck Rising a year ago at a training camp practice where Jeff went off on him in the middle of the radio show. We've seen Jeffery Simmons, he can get fired up and he can get to going pretty quick. And you know that by now Cam Ward knows that. He's been around him enough now to know. And the fact that Cam Ward would walk up to Jeffery Simmons after throwing a touchdown and push him and then taunt him? What a madman, dude. This guy's insane. This guy, can you imagine back in the day? I don't even know. Can you imagine Joe Flacco throwing a touchdown in practice and then walking up to Ray Lewis and pushing him and taunting him? Can you imagine? I don't even know. Can you imagine? I'm thinking of who to compare it to today. Geno Smith throwing a touchdown in practice and then walking up and pushing Max Crosby. Just being yeah, what do you think about that, bro? I can't even imagine the manhood of this guy to do that. I mean, this guy, Cam Ward, he better be good because he's not lacking in confidence. He's not lacking in confidence. He's not lacking in swagger. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. The Titans need this kind of attitude. The Titans need this kind of spunk. The Titans need this kind of guy leading the way because last year's culture on this team was non-existent. There was no culture. No fire, no heart from anybody, and now you got a rookie quarterback going after the biggest, baddest dude you have and pushing him and taunting him in practice because he just threw a touchdown? I mean, this dude's nuts. He's out of his mind, and I love it. I love it. Like, I love the fact that Cam Ward's insane. I don't want him to get too insane, but I love the fact that Cam Ward, because you know what? That's the kind of thing people will buy into. This locker room, when they got back in the locker room, Calvin Ridley and Tony Pollard were probably sitting there and were like, this dude just walked up and pushed Jeff and taunted him? Like, these guys, Amani Hooker and like, I don't know, Cody Barton were probably sitting there like, this kid is nuts. And that's the sort of thing these guys are going to buy into. These guys will buy into that kind of guy just being that crazy. As a rookie, oh my gosh. Now, one negative, I don't want to become known as the fighters. Now, I'm all about figuratively showing fight on the field and never giving up. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about literal fighting. I don't want to become known as the pushers, shovers, punchers, slappers. I don't want to become known as that because last week in Atlanta in the joint practice, there was a huge brawl that I think was initiated by the Titans. I think in Tampa Bay a couple weeks ago, there was a fight. I know some of that is just preseason training camp. I get it. Guys are getting antsy. But I don't want to be that team in the regular season who's getting 15-yard penalties and suspensions because guys keep pushing and shoving and going crazy. Like, we don't want that. All right, so let's just make sure to get it under control. But that kind of stuff right there, when you see a rookie quarterback willing to just be that crazy, to go after the biggest, baddest guy you have and mess with him, this goes back to May. Cam has not shied away from Jeff one time. And I see no reason to believe that Cam's going to shy away from anybody when he gets out on the field. This guy is tough up here. You don't get to where he is without being tough up here. Oh my gosh. I don't think it's a big deal. I don't think there's going to be any big ramifications from it, but I will walk away from this saying we got a lunatic as a quarterback, and I'm for it. Tighten up, everybody.